Alright, we have ourselves we'll call it the 98% version of this thing. I probably got some small little bits and pieces I need to do, but by and large this thing is 100% complete. So, or mostly complete. So when constructing this, first thing I had to do was level out the land and throw the pavers on those, get that level as much as I could. And then on top of the pavers I built the base. So this piece down here all the way around was built, and then I found a couple of I found my 4-foot mark and to build the Coop portion of the Coop and Run combo here. And so we can kind of talk about that in a little bit. So once I got this base done, built the studs up and down all the way around, and I got these single pieces to run across. I'll show you down on this end, it might be a little easier. So I connected all the studs together with this bottom piece here, ran that across, and then I was able to put the rafters up. So the rafters I didn't need to bird mount or anything like that, I just threw them on top of this single wood piece, and then I cut fillers to put fillers in between each rafter all the way down. Once I got all of that up, I was able to start putting up this Coop portion of it, just taking 8x4 plywood and putting that up. I think if I were to do it all over again, I would build the Coop first and build the run on the outside. The way I did it, I had to fit the Coop inside the run, and I would have rather just built around the Coop. I think that would have been a little bit easier, but could be wrong on that. Hard to say. The next step was putting up the roof. The roof is just metal galvanized roof. There was a sheet of plywood that went down, a vapor barrier that went down on top of that, and then the metal roof. And so that was kind of the next step of getting this whole thing complete and squared up. Once I got the this Coop portion done, this thing got very solid very quick, but to prevent racking I did have to put in a couple of studs. That's what these guys at angles right here are doing. That's to prevent the racking from happening. So what I have done to the Coop is I've constructed a window. One, they're supposed to get sunlight on the inside, but this window is also a vent. It's kind of like a screen, so to speak, so that they can get ventilation or airflow inside the Coop. We're able to open the other side up and perform the same task. I'll show you that here in a minute as well. But that is what I did with the window on this side. And down here, this is just a PVC feed, pretty basic, pretty standard 4-inch tube, connected to, there's a, I guess we'll call it, it's not quite a T, it's more like a Y, where it's going to feed the troughs down here. They'll be able to eat underneath. It's mostly covered. I might have to do a little bit because I don't know if this piece above is going to keep the rain or snow out of that, so we'll see how that kind of pans out. But 4-inch pipe, 45 degree into a Y, and then split it off and then cap the two ends to hold it in place. This piece here is just a cleat for the door, so when the string comes down, it catches the cleat like this and holds the door open on the inside, and then at night I can undo it and shut it. This top piece here, this is just to try to help seal, keep things out of it best I can. Mostly just rain, but it just sits right on top of there and it doesn't come out, stays sealed shut for me. This is the nesting box. Very basic. I'll show you the design on the inside, but hens will lay their eggs here. I did build a wall here for a deep litter system. I'll explain what I understand of that here in a little bit. Next up is another vent. This vent just pops open. that'll hook on there. Wood's warped on me a little bit, but it still goes up and stays in place, and this will just allow a little more airflow for the chickens, for the hens. This is the next piece, and I'll have to set this down to do this. It might not work. Let me turn this up right. Sorry, guys. So, this piece is the door, so that I can clean the coop out. So, this piece goes up, and latches in. This piece comes down, and I'm able to take a rake and just rake everything out into a wheelbarrow or wheelbarrow. Bring it down this way. Just scrape it out however I want to do that. So on the inside, what you're seeing, these are roost bars. This is where they're going to sleep. These just pop in and out. I want to be able to clean them if I need to, so I can just take these in and out, no big deal. But they'll sleep on top of this. This is basically a step for the silkies to get up here. I plan on having silkies, which are a little shorter. They can't quite reach 24-inch roosts. So I would imagine some can, but maybe not all of them. So I just built a step for them to hop on this and then get themselves up onto this roost. So I was talking about the nesting box here. I'm saying before, I built kind of a wall at the bottom. These are just 12 by 12 squares, so they can fit themselves inside, lay their eggs. Probably end up using pine shavings on all of this, but I need to do a little more research to understand what I'm going to do there. I had some leftover roof material, so I just put that up there. Hopefully they don't want to jump up there and poo all over it. The goal is to have it just kind of have them slide off. That way I don't have to get inside to clean the poo and all that stuff. I built this so tall because of a deep litter system or method is what I've learned. So what you do is you put down your shavings as they poo at night. You know, a month later, 2 months later. Hang on a minute, buddy.
For you.
All right, sorry about that. So the deep litter system, pine shavings down, they poo, more pine shavings, they poo, more pine shavings. One, it's supposed to create some insulation, but additionally you don't have to clean it out as much, and it's a way to keep the smell inside. Or, I'm sorry, to keep the smell down, so it's not getting into the air and smelling like, well, crap. So that is the purpose of having these taller walls, and then I tried to build this wall up just a little bit so that way they're not kicking a bunch of poo and stuff into where they're laying their eggs and all that good stuff. So in addition to this, sorry, gonna have to go upright again. So with this, what I had also done is added this window. So now on both sides there is ventilation. So they will have ventilation year round. I would think I'd be able to do this at night too, so we don't have to worry about animals getting in or out or anything like that. Hopefully that wire cloth is strong enough to hold them up. So the wire cloth is, I didn't use chicken wire, I used something a little stronger, a little beefier, not very easy to manipulate, but it did work. So the wire cloth is just 25-foot rolls that are by 2 feet. I built basically all of these at about 2-foot studs, so that way the wire cloth fits right inside, and just stapled it on. I am a little nervous about the staples. I feel like they're not strong enough to hold that wire cloth if something were to really try to get in here. So hopefully this will hold with no issues. So I will go ahead and shut this real quick. Alright, so the next step is the gutter system. So let me turn you sideways again here. This gutter system, I had to use PVC piping, so if you look this way, we built a little close to this tree. So in building too close to the tree, I had to use or make PVC rain gutters. They're hung up by these metal strips or straps. I'm not sure what they call them. Galvanized hanging straps, and then just cut caps on the ends. Cut them in half, and then put the caps on the ends. So this seems to work. I do wish it was a little bigger, closer to like 4.5 inches. I think it would catch more water. Because if it's a pretty hefty downpour, it comes off the overhang, and it'll actually come over the top of this and fall down here into the foundation. So I'm going to try to prevent that as much as I can. But water feeds down into the rain barrel. Got this rain barrel online. I think it was Amazon. I believe it's RTS. It's got a screen on top so it can filter things out. I don't have to worry about acorns or leaves or big dirts or rocks or anything like that falling down in here. But it comes right out of this tube down into the rain barrel, which then comes down to the spigot. And I'm using a gravity-fed system, so the spigot is just on all the time. I will probably have to get a new shark bite fitting for this, because this I think is leaking a little bit, but I'll get that looked at soon enough. And this flows down from here over into the watering system, this reservoir that I have here. So the reservoir will hold the water and then fill these cups up, and the cups use a kind of like a valve system. So when there's weight on the valve, it will stop the water from flowing, and as the water comes out, the cup goes back up and then opens the valve, and the water goes back into the cup. So I might add, if I can figure out how to add the video of that, I can show everyone that as well. And then what I'm doing for the winter, since we are in northern Indiana, we do tend to have -40 winters in February. That only happened once that I can recall. But I have some heat strip that will go around the pipe to keep the water warm and flowing, so that way we don't have to worry about any freezing or explosions or anything like that. And so sorry about that. This is the cup here. I'm going to try to get the water out of it here. Hang on one second. Okay, so you can see the water is flowing right now. And as it fills up that cup, it increases the weight on the cup, and the cup will fall down to here, and it will stop the water flow. You see there's no water flow down in there now, but if I let it back up, you'll see a little water come back in there. So if it goes up, you see that water flow, and as it comes down, it shuts that valve to stop the water from flowing into the cup. So just a gravity-fed system, trying to use rainwater to give them water the best I can. And then the last piece is the ramp. So the ramp actually comes out. I can just pull this out, scrape it off if I need to, put it right back into place, no big deal. And then this is on a pulley system. So there's the rope that hangs onto the cleat on the outside down that way. And once that's up, that will hold this open just like this, and that's that. That is my coop. If you got any questions, go ahead and ask. I will try to help the best I can. Oh, I think these are called hurricane ties up here. Those hurricane ties are what I use to hold the rafter in place for me. I probably don't need them now, because everything's all screwed together and in place where it needs to be. But when you're if you're trying to do something like this by yourself, having something like a quick grip or something like this is very handy to have to help hold that stuff up. So like I said, any questions, feel free to ask. I can let you know how I did some of this stuff.